Welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. The United States and Israel are preparing to attack Iran's infrastructure.
That's right. So according to reports, it can happen any time this weekend. However, President Trump has not given the final order. Power and facilities for fuel are the expected targets. So for more, we'll bring in retired Air Force Brigadier General Blaine Holt, as well as policy analyst for the Heritage Foundation, Andrew Harding. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. General, I want to start with you here. Is this the right approach to put pressure on the regime to make a deal? I mean, it's almost past time here now.
Well, we're really not interested in a deal. We're just interested in working out the terms of whatever their surrender is going to be. The regime will not stand after all of this is over. And they've proven very openly that they can't keep to any commitment that they make, so it doesn't matter. There's disarray. If you want to talk about the regime, it's which one? There's 3 or 4 of them that are all at each other's throats. So the power plants, the fuel. My hope is that military planners on both sides, Israel and the United States, have thought through second and third order effects of things that would be long lasting, that would destroy the economy of Iran and potentially ignite a geopolitical crisis around the world, because the oil economy affects many, including 18% of the intake of China. So if it's just infrastructure, bridges, power stations that affect the IRGC, the military, how the military operates, and it actually supports revolutionaries taking back their country, perfect strategy. That's great. But if you start to destroy petrochemical plants, refineries, things that are long lead time in rebuilding, well, we're going to create much bigger problems.
Yeah, the White House still celebrating a major victory after announcing a deal to disarm Hamas in Gaza. Many didn't think that this was going to happen. Here's what President Trump is calling it.
Most people said that would be a deal that would be undoable. Now, will it go through its ups and downs? It's a very complex situation over there. The people are very complex and difficult. So it's a big step for the Middle East, and people are really impressed by it, and they're surprised by it.
As Hamas disarms as part of this plan, who do you see as taking possession of those weapons?
It's going to be the Board of Peace.
Now, Andrew, how beneficial is this to help bring peace to the area?
Well, good morning. This is a very important step, and a lot of credit goes to President Trump for his innovative approach with the Board of Peace to get here. If you just go back a year ago today, it's really hard to imagine how this agreement would have come together. Just as the president said, this took a lot of work, a lot of external support through different intermediaries, the Board of Peace, and of course working with Israel here to get this over the line. So this is a good step. It's important to see that Hamas is willing to abide by this, and this is certainly not the terms they would have looked at just many months or years ago. Now, what really matters here, as the president did allude to here, is it's one thing for Hamas to say something, it's another for it to do it. I think as we've been learning with Iran and its terrorist proxies, it's easy for it to put something on paper or make some type of pledge, and then suddenly within a week or a few days, they decide to go back on it. So what really matters here is on Hamas following through. Again, we need to make sure every single decision, every action is verifiable to make sure that anything they agree to, we can make sure that they follow through. And if they decide to go against it, that we have the ability to impose costs or reverse any commitments we make in order to either put pressure on them to change, or we continue anything that ensures that Israel is safe and the Middle East is not going to be threatened by Hamas terrorist attacks.
So, General, Iran has a message, actually, for America's allies. The IRGC says anyone helping the U.S. will face a, quote, harsh response. So how should the U.S. and its allies respond to this?
Oh no, an Iranian threat.
I knew you'd say that.
They didn't write that for our allies. They didn't write that for us. They wrote that to try some approach to show 90 million Iranian people that they're still in control of the country. They're in this peer relationship with the United States, and they're threatening to bring down all kinds of terror on all allies everywhere who might help us. It's ridiculous. And the people of Iran, they understand this because they're getting organized. They're certainly getting internet, and they're getting intelligence from our friends. And it's a paper mache tiger, but it's not a tiger that's not without its danger. Some colonel by himself in Bandar Abbas with some missiles can throw them in any direction he wants, and he's not waiting for a phone call. That's what this chaos is, and that's what our military operations are built on neutralizing.
That's a great point. Brigadier General Blaine Holt and Andrew Harding, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.